What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about a ton of new material that just came out for the new Jurassic Park movie. A lot of people are starting to get excited about Rebirth, and now that the second trailer basically made the film look 10 times better than the first one did, and these new dinosaur scenes they've just dropped look pretty incredible. So Jurassic World Rebirth now has a total of 6 new posters featuring wild dinosaur scenes from the movie, and Fandango actually released a new still from the film. We can see the cast hanging out here like they belong in the Lost World Jurassic Park with some really cool imagery, and personally, I think this kind of stuff just makes the movie look really cool to me. And it helps sell the idea that they're trying to go back to what made the first couple of films so much fun. I've been seeing a lot of these movie reaction channels watch the Lost World Jurassic Park for the first time. I don't know how they avoided it for their whole lives, but anyways, when they walk away from it, they are kind of surprised it's the kind of film it is. So this new image is indicative of what a more Lost World style feel could be, and I just gotta say, I am really liking that direction. I'm just kind of hoping that the movie is that grounded and that serious that the second trailer made it out to be. Now, probably the biggest poster that we've got to go over today is this one that features a gigantic sized Tyrannosaurus Rex attacking the river raft from the film, and Scarlett Johansson is holding the dart gun with the jungle landscape of this new island in the background, and all of it just very, very different compared to some of the other movies that we've gotten lately. And personally, I think this is an extremely cool looking poster all around. I gotta say, I think it might just be the coolest we've gotten since the first Jurassic World movie. The last couple of films felt like they didn't really capture the feel of the plots in the movies themselves, with of course there's some exceptions here and there, I guess. But next up is a look at the cast in a way more ominous and foreboding location where they're wading through some water. I have no idea why they got in the water unless it's to get away from the Mutadons or D-Rex. This all looks very Terminator Salvation to me, but everyone is looking pretty cool. Duncan is holding a flare which emits this bright red light while the Distortus Rex is looming in the background. And look, this looks just like Return of the Jedi's Rancor. I mean, how could it not look like anything else but that? And it's kind of crazy to see the monster here because it almost looks like it's supposed to be the marketing material for Alien Romulus or something. The overall like picture here is so different to Jurassic World Dominion or even some of the stuff for Fallen Kingdom. I'm like, wow, they're really trying to sell the darker Jurassic Park vibes. And even Scarlett right here, like she looks like she'd be a great fit for Amanda Ripley in an Alien Isolation film. Everything about this poster is super intense, and I think it does a great job at selling the tone. I don't know if this is going to be a scene in the actual movie, but yeah, we do have some stuff from the trailers that looks very similar to this. So why they're in the water and why, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Now look, another one of these new posters, probably the most interesting in terms of dinosaur designs, happens to be of the Spinosaurus attacking the ship. Because here we get a new look at the retooling of the animal and how it kind of looks really crazy even when compared to what we've seen from the first trailer. Speaking of which, there's a lot of discussion online about these new Spinosaurs in particular. Some people say they prefer the one from Jurassic Park 3. Some people say they like this newer one that's been updated. Some people say it doesn't matter because people are gonna scream regardless. But what do you guys think? I kind of like the Stan Winston design from 2001 a little bit more, but these are going to be way different in terms of the kind of stuff they can actually do with action and suspense in the film. So they're going to offer up something different to dinosaur scenes, I'm sure. It would be cool to see the one from Jurassic Park 3 return alongside these new ones to kind of compare and contrast in an action sequence, but I kind of doubt that will happen, at least in this movie. Now, another crazy poster design features the guy at the beginning of the new trailer while the smaller Distortus Rex attacks him. Look, this right here is actually really interesting because while we already knew that it could use its claws to grab hold of things, you know, from the latest trailer footage and all that was released, we can see here that it's actually capable of doing a lot of damage with both hands free, and the 2 little T-Rex limbs close to its body are also available to use. So can you imagine what it would be like when the thing takes down prey? Like, I could actually see it attacking a sauropod and it being like a just monstrous looking event. It's like something from the Alien Queen at the end of Aliens, which again is really, really cool. Speaking of which, look guys, if you take a look at the hand in this poster, old school Jurassic Park fans may notice a resemblance to the PlayStation 1 and and Sega Saturn video game for the Lost World Jurassic Park. I'm not sure if that was deliberate, but it looks just like the clawed hand from that video game in this new poster. And look, I grew up playing that game a lot. It is notoriously difficult. It's actually one of the hardest video games I think I ever played for the PlayStation. But look, that kind of pose with the claws clutching something, and it's just a Jurassic Park. It looks really, really cool. After that, we've got the Quetzalcoatlus attack, and this one is actually one of my favorites. The way Zora is looking up while the reptilian beak jumps out at us, it's just really cool to me. And I mean, personally, this is a very old school Jurassic Park feel. I don't know what it is, whether it's the logo in the corner, the design of the animal, or just the idea of, whoa, dinosaur attack in the jungle, but all of it is incredibly fun, and I go as far as saying that this is probably one of the coolest posters for the series in years. This one and the first one we talked about in this video, I really am a fan of. It reminds me of the Jurassic Park 3 days, and I don't really remember anything looking this fun from last film or even the one before that. And look, also, that's just a really cool shot in general. I mean, dinosaur attacking your face, and you've got like a wild survival man versus nature tone. I mean, I just think it's cool. And then we've got another look at the Mosasaurus, this time doing a Jaws kind of pose while the crew on the ship is looking on in the background. Reminds me of Jaws the Revenge, actually, but I may be alone on that. I really think that whole sequence of the film is going to be a highlight, by the way, because if David Koepp is adapting the old material from the 1995 draft of, he had an early treatment for the Lost World, we could be in for a movie that is reusing the sensibilities and concepts of 1990s filmmakers. And what do I mean? Well, basically, if this movie is really good, it could owe that success to the fact that these ideas were coming from the minds of a world separated from the modern day Hollywood mindset. They're making action set pieces based off of frameworks from 1995. So if it's a good movie, it could owe a lot of its success to the fact that, yeah, they pulled their drawer out and grabbed Jurassic Park 2 that never got made and adapted it into this new movie. So that's just an idea I've got in the back of my head. This could be a really cool scene, and it's a fun little poster. Now, I do want to mention here that if Jurassic World Rebirth does really well, and I mean really, really well, it will more than likely be getting a sequel that tries to go in this direction to keep audiences happy and that box office flowing. So I wanted to ask you guys how you'd feel about David Koepp and Gareth Edwards returning to do another one of these. And if they did, do you think Scarlett Johansson and anyone else that ends up surviving this movie would be up for another dinosaur film? And whether or not we could get more of Dr. Grant, Ian Malcolm, or some of the older cast, maybe even Owen Grady or Claire. Let me know what you guys think the future of this franchise could be if this movie gets good reviews and has a solid box office, because I think everyone is basically thinking if it's good, they'll jump aboard and make another one with more or less of the same team. So David Koepp, Gareth Edwards, maybe they'd be like, yeah, sure, we'll come back and do a sequel. My general predictions for this new movie are kind of conservative because Jurassic World Dominion had Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern return, but the movie just barely made $1 billion in sales. Yes, I know that it was a few years ago, but Top Gun Maverick and Avatar 2 blew it out of the water, and the drop-off from Fallen Kingdom was even kind of drastic. So I'm going to guess that Jurassic World Rebirth could pull anywhere from $850 to $950 million if it's got good word of mouth, maybe tapping out at around the $750 million range if nobody shows up or the movie's just, not that great. Because it's also got to compete with Superman and Fantastic Four. Superman, by the way, I gotta say, I really, personally, I did not like that second trailer at all. It made Superman sound really whiny in my opinion. And look, if you want to know my own thoughts, I did a whole review of the 1978 movie with Cammy from Let's Tune In, and look, we'd go into depth about the original Superman film and about all of its symbolism to Christianity, as well as everything going on with Richard Donner's landscape and how he portrays these characters in a very, okay, just watch that video if you're interested. Now look guys, the second trailer for the new Superman movie might have turned some people away. It personally personally did to me. And Fantastic Four looks like it's probably going to be Marvel's biggest movie of the year, but I don't really know what that means anymore, to be honest, especially in relation to the box office. So if Jurassic World Rebirth is really, really good, we're talking with very good reviews and a very strong turnout, well, maybe it can reach $1 billion again, and maybe it can even beat out Jurassic World Dominion's box office and pave the way for a Gareth Edwards and David Koepp direction going forward. But hey, we're just going to have to wait and see. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. This is all looking really, really cool though. So what do you guys personally think? What are your thoughts on these new posters and some of the action sequences that they're teasing? And what do you think this movie will be like now that the second trailer is out and they're putting all of this new stuff out online to kind of like gauge people's interest and get them into the theater? Hey guys, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video, and as always, take it easy.